I think whether or not you're a new or an old photographer or you're a professional photographer, I think the idea behind buying new equipment always excites us. Idea of having your first camera is just like, what can I do with this? Like you're just gonna want to use it, and then that itch turns into something else. That itch turns into, I can't wait to buy new gear, I can't wait to buy new lenses, new microphones, new tripod. I never thought like 4 years ago that I would go off and like getting a new tripod. And I'm looking around for tripods like, oh, this one has that, oh, that one has a ball mount. But the two meatiest gear purchases you can possibly make is buying a new camera body and buying a new lens. And buying a new lens just totally changes the game for you. I bought a new lens recently. I bought this. I bought the 16-35 Canon lens. It's the f4 lens, not the 2.8 one. I wish I could have afforded the 2.8 version 3. That would have been like, but I can't afford that. And it's not because I couldn't afford it that I didn't buy it. I mean, I would have saved up for it if I really needed it. But I think this is the real money here for me. This is what I could have spent my money on. I mean, like, yes, this is exactly what I needed. And I thought I would share my reasoning with you guys. I thought I would share like what goes into like a professional like me, a pro. I would consider myself a professional right now, but a pro buying new equipment, and like what's your thought process and what boxes do you need to check, and you know, just overall what I look for in a new lens or what I look for in gear in general. The first thing for me, what I would suggest to you is to use your intuition. Like, just think about it. Do I actually need this new lens, or can I really live without it? Is it something that's going to benefit me in the long term? Does it actually improve my craft? Is it something that I actually need for my business, or is it just like a itch that I need to scratch? You can use the example that I had last week, which was this lens. This is the 24-105. This lens has an issue with it where the aperture motor or something inside of it goes wonky, and that's the end until you have to carry it in to service it. And I know that because this is the second one I've had from this, and the other one gave the same problem. I shot the last video that I did, well, which was the Hash 3 review. I can link it up here if you haven't seen it. I shot that last video on this, a Sigma 85 1.4. This is a medium telephoto lens, and it's not the ideal focal length to be doing video with. Maybe let's put these back here because I don't want those to break. I unboxed the lens already. It's the lens I'm shooting on right now, but I can literally touch the camera right here. It's right here in front of me, instead of feeling like you're all the way across the room. I immediately felt like, okay, I need a new lens. I need something that's going to be a little bit closer, a little bit wider, and that's something you're going to have to think about. If you're somebody that does portraits, do you feel like you need a lens that's a little bit closer? Although there's the ideal portrait lens focal length, which is like 50, a little bit of 35, more 85, 135, those sort of focal ranges, medium telephoto. But for you have to think about what you want. Do you feel a little bit further away? Do you feel like you need to get closer? Do you want to do bird photography and you have the kit lens and you want to do bird photography? You might feel like, oh, I just need to get, I wish I just had some, maybe even 100mm just to get a little bit closer into what I'm seeing, because I feel like I'm so far away from my subject. And that's the intuition you're going to need to use for your lens purchase. So for me, oh god, that was my script. I am primarily an event photographer. I do a lot of landscape photography, yes. I do portraits, yes. But I think my bread and butter comes from event photography at the moment. This lens has been in my bag all of the time. It has probably never left my camera bag until it started giving trouble. And it's now been replaced by the 16-35. Now, these two focal lengths are entirely different. This is an ultra wide angle, and this is a zoom lens that is like 24, it's wide angle to telephoto. These are two totally different focal lengths. I have a 16-35, so that's up to the 35 mark. I also have, it's not here right now, but I also have a 50mm 1.8, the Nifty 50. And then I go up to 85, and then I also have a 100mm macro lens. So pretty much the 24-105 range is covered within all those four lenses I just mentioned. You could have argued, you could say, well, Tariq, why didn't you buy a 24-70? Yeah, I would have, but I do also intend to use this lens not only for photography, not only for event photography where I want really dynamic, wide angle, ultra wide angle shots, but but I do intend to use this for vlogs as well. And a 16 to 35 I think would be a better vlog lens than a 24 to 70. So it was like, do I need a new 24 to 105? Probably not. I didn't want to get another one and I wanted to try something a little bit new. For you guys, if you're a new photographer or you're an old photographer and something you want to buy a new lens, I would say when you are in your element, when you are at your gig, when you're in the wild, when you're on that boat or you're doing that portrait or whatever you're doing, think about the limitation you feel. Do you feel like you're at a limitation? Do you feel like you need to get closer? Do you feel like you need to get further back? Do you feel like, you know, you just need more light? So do you want to move from a f4 lens to a 2.8 lens or 1.4 lens? I mean, 1.4 is great because I shoot a lot of low light events as well. So having a 1.4 lens like the Sigma 85 or the 2.8 100mm macro, they are extremely useful tools to have in your bag when there are absolutely no lights. I mean, it would be lovely to do, but you can't just go running into B&H or running on Amazon and just be like, I want this 16-35 2.8 L lens. Yes, please, and just swipe. Nah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you have the money to do it, by all means, go ahead. But for us who have to kind of budget, you have to really think about what you want to buy. And I will say this, your camera bag is already so limited. You have to pick and choose the things you're going to put inside of there and not just, you know, just throw things because you want to throw things. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is somewhat of a little trick that I use in Lightroom. It's kind of a hack, kind of not really a hack. But if you shoot raw images, then the camera stores all the information that you shot those images at in the metadata of the image. And one of those attributes that it stores in the image is the focal length you shot that at. Other things like the aperture, the shutter speed, the ISO. What I was really looking for was what focal length was I using the most. When I had the 24 to 105 and wanted to buy the 85, I had to figure out, do I actually need an 85? Or do I want a 35? Or do I want a new 50 lens? And I figured out from using this trick that, well, I'll show you guys how to get it done. Okay, so let's dive right into this one time. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna open Lightroom, right? So you're gonna open up your Lightroom, you're gonna open your catalog that you have all your images stored in. And then you're gonna go over into the library module, right? On the left hand side of the window, there's gonna be an option that says all photographs. You're gonna click on that, right? So now in your library, it's gonna show all of the images you've shot in that period of time, like all of the images. I can go all the way back right here to see like some of my first pictures I've ever taken. So, and this is a really old catalog. So it depends on your catalog that you're using. Now, if you're not seeing this option, you're gonna go to View, and you're gonna go to Show Filter Bar. Or you can just hit the slash key, hit that key and it's going to show up this filter bar right here. So if you take it off, it's not going to show. To go view window, hit that, comes back on. Now you can change these columns around a little bit, but what I wanted to show you is that you can check out all of the images you've ever shot. Like say 60, but I'm going to choose the 60, which is the one I've used the most. And then I'm going to go over the 24 to 105. It's going to show all the images I ever shot on the 24 to 105. And then I can go right here and I can change focal length. This is the information that I use to think about, okay, I shot 4,000 images at the 24 mark. I shot a lot of images at different focal lengths, but the one I used the most was the wide angle side. So I thought, and that backed up what I was thinking about, which was, I feel like I need, hold on. I kind of backed up what I was thinking about, which was, I feel like I need more. I feel like I need a wider focal length. Back to the main point, you can use this information to figure out what lens you want to buy next. Alright, so if you've shot everything in RAW, then you have no worries. You can just go back into your RAW images and look at everything and see what focal length you're using most, what aperture, whatever. And I hope that was useful. Alright, okay, so before I get lost looking at all this data again, I'm just gonna come out here and end the video. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I hope now that you would use a little bit more intuition and use a little bit more of the tools available to you to figure out, you know, do I actually need that lens? Do I need that camera body? I know, I understand, because I have it too. Like when you see new gear, you just need to go like, So if you're new around here, I hope you hit that subscribe button. I hope you hit that like button. And I hope you got something, I got some valuable information out of this. For all of my returning subscribers, what's up guys? Hit that bell down below because I realize some of you haven't been seeing the videos in your notifications. So hit that bell to make sure you get all the notifications. And I think now you can actually choose how often you want to see notifications. So you don't have to see all, you can see one a week or something like that. So just choose whatever you want, but make sure I hit the bell. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys next time. Ready?